Let's talk really bad mobile DJ floor plans and maybe how to avoid them. I've done videos on this before, but I thought it was worth revisiting. Somebody had posted this particular floor plan in the DJ help desk today. And if you don't know why this is a bad floor plan, this video might be for you. Have a look at it. The DJ is tucked way into the corner. That can be problematic for a lot of reasons. Now, I made a comment on this post, and it says, and this is true, the funny part is they, the banquet facility, will defend a floor plan like this by saying that the client approved it. There's never a mention of why this floor plan was suggested in the first place, or if the client was given any alternative to choose from. Totally true. When I see something like this, what I assume happened is a banquet manager put this together and presented it either in a meeting or in an email and said, hey guys, what do you think? And the client, assuming they're dealing with people who do this all the time and have taken all activities into consideration, says, yeah, let's do that. You're the pro, you know what you're doing. What didn't happen was the client didn't design this floor plan. The banquet facility did. And even if the client did design this floor plan, even if in Fantasyland, the client put this together and said, hey, I want to do this, you would think that the banquet facility would take one look at it and say, you know what? There's problems with this. I would highly advise against this. Let me make some other suggestions and present them with some alternatives. But none of that happened. This is just pure incompetence. But in the banquet facility's defense on a floor plan like this, I've said this before, and I believe it to be true. What banquet halls do very well sometimes is food and beverage. What they don't do very well is entertainment floor planning, and this is bad. This might work really well for them for coffee service, for bar, for dinner service, or even it could work really well for like some of the architectural features in the room. Let's say there's windows that they want the client to be able to look out over this lake while they're having dinner, or some beautiful feature in the room that they're trying to arrange this to highlight. It's still disastrous for any entertainment purposes, even for dinner. I mean, yes, for dancing this is terrible because you're far away from the dance floor. There's tables in between the DJ and the dance floor. I'm not one who feels like I have to be the center of attention all the time. In clubs, I kind of like it when no one knows where I am. This is different though. For dinner, it can be really bad. And I've had this happen to me before. When you're stuck way back in a corner and there's tables between you and the dance floor, during dinner, if you're using something like a two-way top cabinet point source speaker, which most DJs are still using, as you know, the closer you are to the speaker, the more harsh it is. If you're trying to play dinner music, you can't project past that first or second row of tables to get any sound out to anybody else. I did an event one time where I was stuck in the corner. There were tables between me and the dance floor, and the head table was way on the other side of the room. And they had very specific requests for dinner music, and I was playing them. They had also sat their grandmother right in front of the DJ booth. I was using point source speakers, and I was trying to play it at a moderate volume. But Grandma kept putting her fingers in both of her ears and giving me nasty looks. Well, I can't blame her. She's getting her head blown off. But I got to turn this up so they can hear it on the other side of the room. Couldn't do it. So I turned it down. And guess what? The client complained. We can't hear our dinner music. It's like, the reason you can't hear your dinner music is because I'm causing tinnitus to anybody directly in front of me if I turn it up any louder than this. You put Grandma right in front of me, and I kind of put it on the client, but that wasn't even fair. It really is on the banquet facility for suggesting that floor plan in the first place. In retrospect, I'm thinking, yeah, hey, look, I think the banquet hall screwed up and gave you a bad floor plan. Obviously, you want to be near the dance floor to kind of facilitate anything that you're doing. for, dances and things. You want to see what's going on. Back in the corner, you're not always seeing what's going on. You lack perspective, and you lack that audience's connection. So this is why putting a DJ in the corner is bad, and this is why there's got to be a better alternative than this in this particular room, regardless of the architectural features of the room. There's got to be a better way to do this. Here's how I feel like we can avoid problems like this without getting too incredibly involved. When you're having your initial client consultation, you can say things like, hey, look, I can help you with things like entertainment floor planning. When I say this, all I want to do is suggest that the DJ is next to the dance floor. And the other thing I want to do is check the floor plan before it gets final approval. I don't want to do the floor plan of the room. I'm not interested in doing that. I just want to make sure this mistake wasn't made. When I say I do your floor plan consultation, I can help you out with that. I'm trying to avoid those problems. I'm not trying to become a banquet manager or a wedding coordinator or a wedding planner. A lot of people have accused me of that. Not the case at all. All I'm trying to do is make sure that this is not the floor plan that gets approved. If I see this, I'm going to say, no. Here, this is what I feel like you should do. Maybe put the DJ here. Where anything else goes, I think that's their problem. They have to work it out as a banquet facility. But I need to be here to be effective, and this is why, and you can explain why. Usually when I get a floor plan like this, and I do sometimes get a floor plan like this, it's when it's a subcontract job. I wasn't directly involved, or I wasn't able to say things like, hey, I do entertainment floor plan consulting, or I can help you out with your floor plan. Show me what you're looking at. If I have no opportunity to do that, this could happen. The good news is that a lot of banquet facilities do a great job with this, and you don't have to worry about it, but sometimes they don't. But those are some of the problems you can run into. And it's unfortunate. But I feel like just, mentioning that you're there to help. And, let me have a look at your stuff before you approve it. Let's make sure that this is set up where it's good for everybody. It's good for me. It's good for food. It's good for beverage. It's good for coffee service. It's good for the architectural details of the room. Everything before it's approved. And you have the opportunity to do that when it's your client. You don't always have the opportunity to do that when it's a subcontract job, unfortunately. That stuff gets so streamlined sometimes. It's forms you fill out. There's not a lot of human interaction. It gets rough. But when you can talk to your client and convince them or put their mind at ease that you are there as their advocate to make their event as successful as possible, you get trust and you're able to avoid things like this sometimes. That's been my experience anyway. Just some thoughts today. What do you think? Let us know in the comment section. I appreciate you guys tuning in so much. There's a gear video coming up real soon. Got a lot of stuff coming in that I think you're going to dig. So stay tuned for that. Stuff's in now. Stuff's coming in tomorrow. Waiting on some final... what am I looking for? Information on some of these products before I present them, but it's coming soon. So take care. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Practice and enjoy.